And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, men and women of all shapes, colors, and sizes, thank y'all for tuning in to Season 2 of Game Time with the Guru. And I'm your host, Thaddeus Ward. I want to start this show by saying thank God for letting us all come in for another year to enjoy my weekly picks for college football. And thank all the fans that tuned in last year, and I hope that we can all come together and build off of the foundation we laid last year. And with that being said, we've been waiting long enough. Let's just get right into some college football. First game of the week, ladies and gentlemen, which is tonight, Furman versus number 12 Michigan State. I got Michigan State to win this game. Coach Mark D'Antoni, last time we saw him, they were dismantled by Alabama. But I'm pretty sure if the players resolve is anything like their head coach is Mark D'Antoni, they'll be right back in the Big Ten hunt again this year. And they're going to start the season off with a win at home against Furman. Next game, number 23 Baylor hosting Northwestern State. I've got Baylor winning this game. The strong point is that QB Seth Russell, Jim Groves coming in to replace Art Browse after a scandalous summer of off-the-field incidents for Baylor. Hopefully they can just get back to playing football and put some of those things behind them and move forward. Next game, Kansas State, led by Coach Bill Snyder, is going to play number 8 Stanford. And this is the start of Christian McCaffrey's Heisman hopeful run again. And last year he led the NCAA football in total yards from scrimmage. And he's probably going to pick up right where he left off this year. So I've got Stanford beating Kansas State at home. Tomorrow, first Saturday of college football. Don't leave the house tomorrow. You can miss something. Anything can happen tomorrow. But the first game we're going to talk about tomorrow will be number 1 Alabama versus number 20 USC. This is Nick Saban's team that is going to get a chance to defend their national championship from last year. USC is young and upcoming. They're going to make some noise out there in the Pac-12, though. It wouldn't surprise me that if the Pac-12 don't come down to UCLA versus USC to win that conference. But Stanford's going to have something to say about that. But I got Alabama winning this game at a neutral site. Nick Saban is 6-0 at Alabama in neutral site games. Next game up, number 2 Clemson going to Auburn to face Gus Malzahn and the Auburn Tigers. Deshaun Watson, I would have not had a problem last year if he won the Heisman. He destroyed that Alabama defense in the national championship game that they lost. And this year, he's going to get his Heisman candidacy off to a good start, I'm sure, against that defense of Auburn. But this game is going to come down to who has the ball last off. I feel Auburn and Gus Malzahn know they're going to put points up if he has the right quarterback to fit his system, which he didn't have last year. But I've got number 2 Clemson on upset alert, but they're going to win the game. Next game, number 3 Oklahoma versus number 15 Houston. Houston being led by quarterback Greg Ward Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, get used to that name. He's going to be household by the end of the year. You're probably already familiar with Baker Mayfield, who should have been in New York at the Heisman candidacy last year. That was a Heisman snub if you ask me, but he is no joke. But in this game, I'm taking Houston to beat Oklahoma because I got Houston going undefeated and making it into the college playoff football this year. Next game up, Bowling Green versus Ohio State. I got Urban Meyer picking back up where him and J.T. Barrett left off at before J.T. Barrett got hurt. Next game is Hawaii versus number 7 Michigan. Jim Harbaugh's second year at Michigan. This year, they are not going to win the Big Ten, but they're going to be a step closer. I still got Ohio State winning the Big Ten, but I think Michigan last year they led the nation in total defense. And ladies and gentlemen, remember this name, Jabril Peppers. He's a two-way player, offense, defense. He plays everywhere on the defense for Michigan, and he can play almost everywhere on the offense. I haven't seen him play quarterback. or offensive lineman, but maybe he's good enough to do that too. But keep that name in mind as the season progresses. Jabril Peppers, as Michigan gets their first win at home against Hawaii. Next game, number 5 LSU versus Wisconsin. Leonard Fournette is going to get his Heisman race off on Saturday. I'm looking for LSU to get this game, even though I'm not sure about their quarterback play. Hopefully Brandon Harris has come a long way since last year, because honestly he was the Achilles heel last year, and the reason that they didn't do as good as I thought they could have done in the SEC last year. Next game, you've got South Dakota State versus number 13 TCU, led by head coach Gary Patterson, and TCU is going to win this game at home. Next game is Rutgers versus number 14 Washington. Washington head coach Chris Peterson in his sophomore year as a head coach. I expect some big things from Washington. I just want them to let Chris Peterson give him some time to be able to put his fingerprint on the Washington Husky program the way he did at Boise State. I got Washington winning the home opener against Rutgers. Next game up, number 16 UCLA going to College Station to play Texas A&M. UCLA, like I said, they could be right in the thick of things for the Pac-12 championship. If they can get this win against Texas A&M, it would be a good win for their resume as far as strength of schedule. They're going to go as far. They're only going to go as far as QB Josh Rosen takes them. But I expect them to get this game here. I don't know who's starting at quarterback for Texas A&M. They lost a couple in the offseason. They lost a lot of big-time recruits at Texas A&M. But the way Kevin Sumner recruits, I'm pretty sure the talent pool isn't that shallow over there at College Station. But I'm taking number 16 UCLA to get the win on the road against the SEC opponent in Texas A&M. Next game up is number 17 Iowa. They're going to be at home versus Miami of Ohio. And last year, Iowa snuck up on everybody. I know they snuck up on me. They ended up in the Big Ten championship game. This year, everybody's going to see them coming and Iowa's going to get a lot of teams' best shots. But I got Iowa winning this game to start the season off 1-0. Next game, we got number 18 Georgia versus number 22 North Carolina. Kirby Smart's first season at Georgia. I'm sure you're going to have those guys ready to play, and they're going to let them understand what championship football is all about. North Carolina played in a bunch of important games last year where Coach Larry Fedora can rally the troops and have them understand the importance of this game versus an SEC opponent. But I'm taking Georgia to get this win against Carolina. Next game is number 21 Oklahoma State versus Southeastern Louisiana. Mike Gundy's going to have his team ready to play. I got Oklahoma State in this game. Next game, UC Davis versus number 24 Oregon. It's time for Coach Mark Helfrich to put his fingerprint on his Oregon program. This is his third year there, and we are ready to see him bring Oregon back to national prominence, and they're going to get this win against UC Davis at home. Next game up is Massachusetts versus number 25 Florida. Last year, Florida, to me, I would normally say they overachieved, but with the talent they had, they got where I thought they should have made it to. They were who I thought they were. And this year, teams are going to be ready for them. They're going to see them coming. Even though the talent is not going to be shabby, I got Tennessee winning the SEC East. But Florida is probably going to come down to that Florida-Tennessee game this year. But Florida gets the first win of the season right here at home against Massachusetts. Now, normally on Sundays, we talk NFL. But this first weekend of the greatest college opening weekend, the first weekend of the greatest college football weekend ever, spilled over into Sunday and Monday. Sunday, we got number 10 Notre Dame, led by Brian Kelly and his two-headed quarterback team versus Charlie Strong and the Texas Longhorns. And I've got Texas winning this game based off the defense and due to the fact that Notre Dame don't have the quarterback position settled yet. And we want to see Charlie Strong succeed over there at Texas. He was on the hot seat last year after 2 years, which I couldn't understand. But we're looking for him to get this win this week and Texas to get off on a good start. And the final game of this Labor Day weekend, Monday, September 5th, you got number 11 Ole Miss versus number 4 Florida State at a neutral site in Orlando, Florida. And I've got Ole Miss beating Florida State by 3 points. True freshman DeAndre Francois, he's going to have to prove himself. And the SEC defense like Ole Miss is not going to be an easy task to prove himself. Dalvin Cook could be at the Heisman Trophy presentation this year. I think Mississippi State is going to take him out of the game and make DeAndre Francois prove himself. It comes down to quarterback play, and Chad Kelly, to me, is one of the top 5 QBs in America. So Ole Miss gets denied by 3 in Orlando against Florida State Monday night. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in to week 1 of season 2 of Game Time with the Guru. Any comments, you can hit me up on Instagram, First Big Homie, on Twitter, Ward_Thaddeus. You can hit me on my email, thadward2003@yahoo.com. And hey, you can even call my phone, 334-464-4402. Hey, let me know if you agree with my picks, if you go against my picks. Hey, let's just talk football. And with that being said, enjoy y'all first weekend of the greatest college football opening weekend ever. So long, everybody.